Evil Lives On is the 7th episode of the Majin Buu saga and the 238th overall episode in the original dubbed and the uncut Dragon Ball Z series. The episode first aired on August 31st, 1994. Its original American air date was September 16th, 2002. In the capsule clean, Bulma is wondering why Vegeta did what he did. Yamcha tells her not to think like that. For now they'll just use the Dragon Balls to revive all of the dead spectators. Master Roshi thinks Vegeta seemed odd, with lots of evil flowing within him. The plane suddenly hits a lot of turbulence. Master Roshi says there was a great explosion far away, and Bulma feels like it could be related to Vegeta. Back at the battlefield, an intact ash figure of Vegeta is all that remains floating above a very large crater. The ash remains of Vegeta then fall to the earth and break apart. Meanwhile, Piccolo tells Krillin to take the boys home while he checks on things. He tells him they'll inform their families later, as he doesn't know about Goku. But Vegeta said Gohan was killed by Majin Buu. Krillin can't believe even Gohan is gone. Piccolo flies over and lands in the crater, walking around for a bit. He realizes what Vegeta's plan was, to keep Buu from regenerating. Then Piccolo notices Babidi's head, still just barely alive. It looks like Babidi had a barrier up during the explosion, so Piccolo decides to finish him off for good. But then, tiny pieces of Buu begin moving, each turning into a miniature Buu, and they all fly together to form one big mass. Realizing what's going on, Piccolo takes this opportunity to fly away. Majin Buu is now whole again, and he starts giggling until Babidi calls him over. Babidi tells him to heal him, but Buu is hesitant. Babidi asks if he wants to be sealed up, and so Buu heals him. Babidi is glad until he gets angry at the ones who did this to him. The green guy and the two little runts. Instead of destroying this planet, he wants to make those three suffer. Krillin can't believe Majin Buu isn't dead, and that Vegeta died for nothing. Piccolo says it's dangerous on the earth, and takes the boys from Krillin, so he can bring them to the lookout. These two are their only star of hope, albeit a faint hope. Buu is now flying through the air, and Babidi is riding on his back, saying they'll turn this planet into a living hell. Babidi's plan is kill lots of people until those three show themselves. Elsewhere, Supreme Kai is alive, weakly walking around, and begging Gohan to still be alive. Find the Dragon Balls is the 8th episode of the Majin Buu saga and the 239th overall episode in the original dubbed and the uncut Dragon Ball Z series. The episode first aired on September 7th, 1994. Its original American air date was September 17th, 2002. The episode begins with the search for the Dragon Balls, with Yamcha piloting a Capsule Corporation airplane also containing Bulma with the Dragon Radar, Chi-Chi, Videl, Android 18, Meren and Master Roshi. After a brief discussion regarding the Dragon Balls, Yamcha accidentally crashes the jet onto the barren ground. Thankfully, the jet and everyone in it are okay, with the exception of Master Roshi, who used the crash as a chance to sexually harass the beautiful Android 18, nearly resulting in his death. The group eventually find all the Dragon Balls after a few adventures, one involving the 4-star Dragon Ball being swallowed by a dinosaur, only to cough it up again, because Master Roshi farts in its face, and summons Shenron. Goku finally wakes up, and sees that Vegeta took the last Senzu bean. He realizes he was knocked out, so Vegeta could fight Majin Buu alone. He feels Buu's ki, but not Vegeta's or Gohan's, and wonders what happened. But, he does feel Piccolo and Krillin, meaning they are no longer stone, and they probably know what's going on. So, Goku teleports away. Up at the lookout, Piccolo says it will probably be about an hour before the boys wake up. Krillin feels bad that Vegeta and Gohan are dead, and who knows what happened to Goku. Then he asks Dendi if it would be okay to bring his family up here, knowing it's probably wrong to want to save just his friends. Dendi asks Piccolo, but Piccolo says to decide for himself. Dendi doesn't mind, since the Earth is still around because of them. Krillin prepares to leave, but he and Piccolo feel a familiar key suddenly appear. Krillin is excited that Goku's alive, although technically he's not. Goku wants to know what happened, but Dende says he will heal him first. Some time passes, and Goku can't believe that Gohan, Supreme Kai, and even Vegeta have been killed. Piccolo says Supreme Kai was right to fear Buu, and now the whole universe will be in danger. Krillin thinks that the fact that Goku is alive is their happiness amidst the sorrow. He says Goku is the only one who can defeat Buu, and asks if he still has more time remaining in this world. Revival is the 9th episode of the Majin Buu saga and the 240th overall episode in the original dubbed and the uncut Dragon Ball Z series. The episode first aired on September 21st, 1994. Its original American air date was September 18th, 2002. This episode starts as Piccolo explains to Goku he's now fully healed and his outfit repaired. What has happened since he was rendered unconscious? Krillin says, hey, at least you're still alive. Oh yeah, the halo. Then, Krillin says Goku can beat Buu with a Kamehameha, but Goku says he cannot, reasoning that if Vegeta is unable to kill him, there is no chance of Goku being able to, as Vegeta and Goku's power in their fight were even. This poses a problem for Goku. Goku then suggests that, if Vegeta was not so eager to beat Majin Buu himself, Goku could have been able to do a fusion with Gohan. Goku explains that he learned this technique in Otherworld. Piccolo knows what it is, because he had to fuse with Nail, but Goku explains this technique is different, because it is not permanent and only lasts 30 minutes. He continues to explain what happens when two people fuse, that they form one totally new being, that has characteristics of both people, and is stronger than their separate halves. He says it takes a week to learn, and since he is the only one who knows, there is no way to teach it. The episode then cuts to Majin Buu following a roller coaster ride, and destroying it. Then it cuts to Bulma and various allies of the Z fighters back on the front yard of Capsule Corporation. With the Dragon Balls in front of her, Bulma summons Shenron. Videl is surprised to see it for the first time, and is overwhelmed with what she sees. Just as Krillin is about to get the rest of his family to bring them up to Kami's lookout, the sky goes dark and the people at Kami's lookout realize someone summoned the dragon. Krillin believes it to be Bulma, because no one else can gather the Dragon Balls so fast, and Goku knows Bulma wants to wish back those Vegeta killed. Dende suggests to stop her, because if she makes the two wishes right now they would have to wait a year to make another wish. Goku has trouble finding Bulma's key, because his mind is so clouded. By the time he makes it there, Yamcha actually makes the first wish, because Bulma does not know how to phrase the sentence. Yamcha wishes for everyone who died, that they to come back to life. Goku manages to find Bulma, and uses instant transmission to reach her. He stops them from making their second wish, asking Shenron to grant their second wish at a later date. This means that instead of waiting a year to be able to speak to Shenron again, they would only have to wait 4 months to access their second wish. After explaining the situation to everyone, Goku transports them all, apart from Mr. and Mrs. Brief who choose to stay to Kami's lookout for their own safety. The episode ends with Buu and Babidi flying through the air, heading to their next target. Global announcement is the 10th episode of the Majin Buu saga and the 241st overall episode in the original dubbed and the uncut Dragon Ball Z series. The episode first aired on September 28th, 1994. Its original American air date was September 19th, 2002. Kibito tries to sense Supreme Kai, and once he does, he goes off flying to find him. Supreme Kai keeps saying stuff about Gohan is still alive, and that he is the only one. Meanwhile, Majin Buu and Babidi are flying, and then stop in traffic. As a guy yells at him, Majin Buu takes some of his pink blubber and throws it at the guy, tying him up. Then, Majin Buu makes his way to a dessert store, and says he wants all the food, so he starts eating the cakes and stuff. Babidi says to stop and time to go. Majin Buu then smashes through a wall to see the cakes being made, and he goes on, makes the machine go faster, and eats the cakes at the end of the assembly line. Majin Buu walks away to find more food and Babidi follows, but the wizard is stopped by a worker and says he has to pay for all the damage and the cakes that Buu ate. Babidi threatens he is going to do something to her, but she does not care as he tells Babidi to pay up. As she spins Babidi round and round from his cape, Babidi makes her disappear and reappear on the top of a flagpole hanging for her life. Then, it cuts to Kibō on his search for Supreme Kai. He finds and heals Supreme Kai. Supreme Kai then suggests to find Gohan right away, and they cannot let him die no matter what. It then cuts to a short clip of Majin Buu saying he is hungry, and then back to Supreme Kai and Kibō saying Majin Buu's energy keeps increasing, and that Supreme Kai has something big in store for Gohan. Kibō spots Gohan hanging on to very little life, and before Kibō could heal him, Supreme Kai stops him and tells him they are taking him to their world. Although it is not permitted, he has to. On Kami's lookout, Chi-Chi asks where Gohan and Goten are. Krillin freaks out because Bulma asks where Trunks and Vegeta are. Krillin then freaks out a bit more, while Piccolo thinks back to the incident. Chi-Chi asks Goku where her sons are. Krillin tells Goku to tell them what happened. After a long silence, Goku says what I have to tell you isn't easy for me to say right now, but Goten and Trunks are going to be alright, but Gohan and Vegeta are dead. Majin Buu destroyed them both. Then, a light shines before Chi-Chi, Bulma and Videl with their reaction and all of them just gasp. Videl cannot believe what has happened to Gohan and becomes heartbroken. When Chi-Chi faints just after hearing that Gohan is dead, Ox King catches her, and Goku comes to her side. Bulma first sheds a tear, and then yells no Vegeta, and Yamcha tries to comfort her. As Yamcha tries to comfort her, Bulma starts to cry, and yells again no. While she continues to cry about the death of her husband, Videl is also startled, since Goku said that Gohan had died. She then reveals her true feelings about him when she says to herself, how can this be? I love him. Gohan. Piccolo reminds Goku that Trunks and Goten need to be taught the fusion dance, but as Goku asks Mr. Popo to wake up the boys, Babidi's voice is heard. Babidi is telepathically speaking to the people of Earth, telling them that the citizens are to blame Trunks, Goten, and Piccolo for any and all destruction, because they refuse to show themselves. Majin Buu begins the destruction by using telekinesis on the people of the city. He lifts them up, turns them into candy of various colors, and eats them. Babidi concludes his broadcast saying this is what will happen to the rest of the world if Trunks, Goten and Piccolo do not show. Learn to Fuse is the 11th episode of the Majin Buu saga and the 242nd overall episode in the original dubbed and the uncut Dragon Ball Z series. The episode first aired on October 12, 1994. Its original American air date was September 23, 2002. The episode begins as Majin Buu literally blows up the now vacant city. Babidi then informs the people of Earth that if Goten, Trunks and Piccolo are found, to tell him, or he and Majin Buu will destroy the Earth in 5 days. Marvin, a World Martial Arts Tournament staff member, informs Babidi of the names of the ones he is searching for, but Babidi finds the information useless and blows up his head. At Kami's lookout, a very angry Piccolo has heard the news that the world will be destroyed in 5 days by Majin Buu and offers to give himself in. He then decides to stay and help Goku teach the boys the fusion dance. Meanwhile, Trunks and Goten awaken and go off to explore. On the sacred world of the Kaiy's, Gohan is healed, and the Supreme Kai tells Gohan that he was brought there to pull out the legendary Z sword, which has never been done by anyone. The Supreme Kai explains the sword makes its owner unbeatable. Kibō totally doubts that Gohan can pull out the sword and thinks it was a mistake bringing him to the planet in the first place. The three of them rush off to find the Z sword. Goten and Trunks awake on their own. They swiftly become restless and decide to go exploring. They are encountered by Mr. Popo, who startles Trunks. The two young boys then go about attacking Mr. Popo, not knowing who he is or what he wants with them. Eventually, Goku comes across the three of them and reassures the two boys that they are safe. Gohan, the Supreme Kai, and Kibito fly towards the Z sword. Kibito makes a comment on Gohan's current apparel, stating that it's not nearly suitable enough as Gohan cannot train in dirty old rags. Kibito then provides Gohan with clothes similar to their own. Supreme Kai and Kibito then gives Gohan his first task is to pull out the Z sword, and Gohan decides to give it a try. Back at the lookout, Trunks and Goten are found crying after Goku tells them of Gohan and Vegeta's death. Goku takes a much sterner approach, stating that there is no time for tears and that they need to suck it up if they are going to be able to stop Majin Buu. The others watch in anticipation as the two boys stop crying and prepare for the lessons ahead. The episode ends with Gohan knelt beside the Z sword, preparing to pull it out.